What's going on, guys? Welcome back to United View. Hope everyone is doing very well. The new era is upon us. It is a new day. Forget yesterday. Forget that happened. What day? I don't even know what you're talking about. It's a new era. It's a new time. Erik Ten Hag is now it's official, the Manchester United manager. He's been speaking to a lot of media today. He's done his interview, which we touched on this morning, and now he has been officially unveiled to the worldwide media there at Carrington as the Manchester United manager. We've got all of the quotes, said some interesting things, played a little bit coy on certain subjects, was quite blunt on others. We're going to get into all of it, joined by Flex and KG. Coming off of what I think is going to be the hit of the year in the Europa League theme song remix that is taking the world by storm right now. I'll start with you, KG, because just before we went live, he came in and I said, "Oh, you're going to get excited," and it was surprisingly KG went, "No, I'm not actually." How are you feeling?
Yeah, I'm just. You know what? It was nice to watch. I think we've just been all hurt by loads of press conferences. We will never forget the Ollie one, the way United want to play, and this club and this great this and this all this stuff. What it turned out into being, right? I remember the Mourinho one, and the expectation of what it was saying. LVG, literally, like I've been on a jet. I never watched the Moyes one though, but I remember the different managers speaking and what they what they wanted to do to what we got. So I am intrigued. I am watching it like I hope you impress me. But right now, we're just so broken that please show me something. But we're not gonna get gas because everything is destroyed. Like as you saw yesterday, yesterday was a bad day, innit? We can't forget yesterday happened. The same players are still gonna be here. So I know that he's probably thinking, can I get a tune out of them? These same players finished second last season. That's one thing that he went back to a few times. But I thought to myself, bro, I know we finished second, but how far off?
Wasn't a real second. It wasn't really. The table can lie. Even this year, we're not even really the sixth best. It's not really that. It's true. Not really that, bro.
You know what it was when you do that. So we gotta be I'm calm and balanced about things, and that's really rare for me because you lot know I don't really have that gear.
I didn't even know them words were in your vocabulary. Calm and balanced, bro. You've changed.
I haven't changed. Oh, bro, just
look what Randy Simmons says, bro.
No, but all I'm saying is you lot know some good football. Flex saw me yesterday in the match view. He's like, is that I saw a little drag back and I was like, Rugh. And he's like, bro, is that all you need? So
yeah, I noticed that a couple of times yesterday. KG would go, "Oh, good play. Here we go. And Flex goes, "No, he did a pass." KG,
yeah,
didn't happen.
Normal. He's just normal football.
Yeah, but no, I will say just the main thing is, I'm happy to have him there. There's he's a serious guy. That's one part that I was like, that's a serious man. They're gonna walk into the dressing room and see on the 27th of June. Can't wait.
Flex, what did you think? What did you make? What was your reaction to it all?
I like that he was very blunt. I like that he was very intense, and I like that he was very deliberate about stuff. I think we could have been in a situation where he spilt the beans on everything and kind of went off the back of Ralf, been on Ralf's vibe. Yeah, I've spoken to him. Obviously, it's been shocking this season, and there will be loads of players leaving, and we will do this, and we would. I actually like the fact that he didn't talk too much because, like KG said, I remember when Ralf came in. I know it was interim basis. We were blown away. We were like, "Oh, listen to how he talks about football. Listen to this. Listen to that." Obviously, the Jose settings under Ollie. He caught us with the sentiment. He got into our hearts. I know what it's like for my time here, and Manchester United should be this and should be that. I feel like Ten Hag in the first interview we done in house with Man United, which we're waiting for the part 2, and in this presser, I think he encapsulated just enough emotion about where the club should be and where it has been, versus don't say too much and keep your cards close to your chest. And actually, I'm going to do my talking firstly with all these players and staff that I'm going to be working with, and secondly, I'm going to do my talking within the results and how you see my team play. I like it. I liked it a lot because actually you could look at it two ways. You could be like, oh, I thought it'd be a bit more. I thought it'd say more stuff. But actually, he was so serious. There's like a trick. I think Sir Alex used to talk about it, which is catch journalists out by giving them short answers and batting it straight back to them. And a couple of them journalists were a little bit like, I didn't expect that to come back that quick. So basically, and then their questions became kind of nothing questions because they weren't really expecting it to, they done the serve on the Wii tennis. They weren't really expecting it to come back, and then find themselves they need a forehand winner down the line instantly. They're not really doing it. Unforced error. Do you know what I'm saying?
It's like the serve on Wii tennis. It's the serve on Wii tennis you do it. And it's got that little bit of like smoke behind it. And you go,
yeah.
You don't really expect it.
Your reaction with your wrist has to be like this. You have to go like that. You go, oh.
Do you know what I mean?
That's
so I feel like he did that. He did that to a T. Like, I liked it. I liked the feel of it. And I think that's going to be him going forward. I mean, when we spoke to the guys, obviously we talk Ajax. Those guys gave us an insight into what he's like. And you can just tell he's like, I'm doing this at my pace. I'm doing this with my decisions. I'm doing this on my terms, innit? You journalists, you're expecting big sound bites. You're expecting outlandish stuff. And we'll get into some of the quotes. I know we will. But in general, I just like the fact that he kept his cards close to his chest and he didn't actually give too much away.
I think it took him off guard as well. The fact that before the press conference even started, he was walking around the press room, shaking everyone's hand, literally shaking every journalist's hand. And you could say, oh, that's him being very personable and being very nice to him. But also, when you're like that far away and you're shaking someone's hand and you look them in the eye, maybe you're squeezing the hand a little bit tighter than you should be. That's a little bit of like, look, don't F around with me. Okay. This is my seat. This is my seat now. Okay. We set some expectations.
Yes. Agreed. You could tell he was in control. We had literally like, it was like a sieve in terms, we knew exactly what Ralf felt at every moment. If you ask Ralf, what'd you have this morning? We're like, Ralf will tell you to the T, granola, you know what I mean? I got some. I had a bowl from the club shop from the mega store. Ralph's using the Man United spoon and that. This manager here, you got a different vibe. Like, you can't just go crazy. I could imagine him not entertaining journalists that chat rubbish and letting the kind of stuff that Fergie did. And what I saw something yesterday. I saw an interview with Grealish. He was talking about
that was good.
Pep, and being afraid to lose the ball and stuff and this, that, and the other. And I thought, you know what? I like the fact that our players are gonna watch that interview and not know what to do. You don't know, because he's incredibly hard to read. All I know about him is he's serious, Because I'd watch that in the group chat right now. I'd be like, lads, I don't think
this guy's serious. Yeah.
about training on the 27th, This guy, that teacher that walks in, that new head teacher, bruv.
He's serious.
He's gonna exclude everyone, bro. He's excluding everyone. Everyone's going, bro. We might have to pay. Yeah, he's giving me no nonsense. And that I like. These players need to feel that. I need to hear less from these players in regards to what they like about training. I dare one of them to say, we don't enjoy his training. All right, big man.
Yeah.
Good. You can leave. Lil Yo-Yo says, Fleck, we need an Erik Ten Hag drip check every week at games. Are you up to that challenge?
I'm on that. I mean, he's like I said, he's on the casual settings, little turtleneck or a little shirt. You know what I mean? He's got the little button-up blazer undone. Do you know what I mean? The little chinos, matching chinos, or a full three-piece with the trainers. I'm here for that. I don't think we'll see Erik Ten Hag in any club wear. I think he's strict. He's strict. Do you know what I mean? Nah, we won't. We won't.
Not even the little hat.
No. I think when it rains, he doesn't wear the hat. He don't care. I just think he's just solid, bro. I think
in the Ralf Fives. You don't think he'll be in the Ralf Fives?
Nah. He won't. He's in the strict red bottoms, bro. Red bottoms. I mean, little Adidas number.
Nah, I think he might rock the Ralph Sevens, fam.
He won't. He won't. No Ralph Sevens, bro.
Let's get into the
Air Max
quotes.
Ralphs. We got the Air Max Ralphs.
Let's get into the quotes. He started off by just saying that he was happy to be there, all that kind of stuff. So I don't think that's worth really going over. He said he's having good meetings with people, saying that they have a plan now, and it's about getting the plan done. The first question, I suppose, of significance was asked about Man United needing new players. And he said, quote, I just said I'm still in the process of analysing. I'm looking forward to working with these players. The season before, the squad was second in the Premier League. So there's huge potential. KG, you kind of touched on this, and I think it's worth discussing again.
Yes.
It's not the first time he mentioned this, because in that interview that he did with the club media, he said several times, this squad of players, they were second last year. And I said it this morning, I said, it's not a proper second. We were miles off. That was a season behind closed doors. It's very difficult to compare. Liverpool had a load of injuries. Not that the table does lie. So do you think that's him saying, oh, actually, doesn't need to be a lot of work done to the squad? Or do you think it's more him saying, look, some performances by certain players this season, they are capable of better. The stats are there that they're capable of better. It's not necessarily saying we're not going to buy anyone.
No, I think Ralph has to. Sorry. I think Ten Hag has to connect with the players somehow, right? And he has to connect with something positive. He saw them yesterday. If he, again, as you said, he can't come and say, you lot all rubbish, but he has to try and say something because he knows it can't just be a firm hand with no love, right? So he's got to say, well, you guys have some quality, because one thing we do know is this team is devoid of all confidence. This team has literally confidence below the floor settings, yeah? So him saying, hey, you guys have achieved something before is almost his springboard. He knows what the situation is. He says it's not very good. You know, he's looking at the situation and he's saying, this is not good, but I can't just rinse them now because they don't even know me. I could lose them, especially knowing how these players are snakes in it and they know about downing tools. The best thing you could do is kind of be authoritarian, but still try to build a siege mentality of saying, you guys are my players. I'm here for you. I believe there's some talent there, but I feel that we can go back. We can get back to what I know you guys were. And with me, I can enhance it. I think that's more the message, more so than believing that second in the season was something. Because literally, if he really came in, he would have said, these lot are totally.
Yeah, but he's never going to say that. And you can't expect
exactly.
him to come in and say that.
You have to manage your expectations when it comes to that as well, isn't it? I think a lot of people would have hoped that he would have come in, maybe even named certain players he didn't like and all that kind of stuff. But that is just never going to happen in front of the media. It's never going to happen in front of media. Now, it might happen behind closed doors. He might. The meeting he first has with the group of players, he says he hasn't spoken to any of them yet, and I tend to believe that. I mean, directly. He did say he got WhatsApp messages before, but he might say in that big first team meeting, you lot are rubbish. I watched you play against Crystal Palace. You were terrible. Now, I do know you're better than that because you have done better than that, but if you want to stick around, you're going to have to really up your game. Otherwise,
he will do that, Owen. He'll do that. He'll do that. Even in the first, I'm convinced of it. Obviously, we will never know the true extent of what he says in that first meeting. But I think from the evidence we've seen in the pre-recorded interview with United and this live presser that we've just watched, back to the first interview what he done with United, he was talking about his standards and what he expects of his players. You know what I mean? And that was music to our ears. And I know they're generic things in it. Like a manager should expect that, but he was like, you know, good is not good enough. I always need more. I expect us to be unified. I expect us to fight for everything. These are all things that have not been happening at Manchester United. So obviously, it's the opposite. It's the opposite. So obviously, he's taking it into a place of that can't run on my watch because that's not my standards. He says I have high standards of myself as well. And then the bit in the live we just watched, when obviously he was talking about Ronaldo, and he basically said, I talked to him before I talked to you. Like, I know he said the bit about, well, he brings goals. What kind of question is that? Like, batting it straight back. But also, I talk with him before I talk with you. Laying down that line where the media know, like what KG was saying, and you were basically saying as well, Owen, like, you can't come with no stupidness. You can't come with no foolishness. If you're going to be in these pressers, you better come to me with some proper questions. And also, don't expect me to just reel off Don't expect me to just be kissing and telling and just letting out all this, letting out everything. Because it'd be very easy for Ten Hag to come off the back of what's been going on. All of these journalists got a lot more to say now. It was almost like they were waiting for that final whistle at Palace yesterday. Laurie Whitwell's got his piece ready. Let me expose all the stuff I've been sitting on. Samuel Luckhurst has been doing the same. It's almost like they want to get every last little bit of negativity out of their system to reign more when we think it can't get any worse before it rebuilds under Ten Hag. And I think Ten Hag has to stay strong to that. And we have to stay strong to that as well, because that's done. I couldn't give a shit now what I hear. Because it can't, like, there's nothing else that will surprise me. Do you know what I mean? It's awful. So
a new era.
Yeah.
We've already heard it all. I think what was interesting as well, I think Simon Stone asked the question, Tim, saying that obviously it's a big job. It's a big club. You've got a very good reputation. You're meant to be this coach that's ascending up the ranks. He said, is it a risk? He basically said, look, this club's a dumpster fire. Why would you risk your reputation on coming to this club? And he said, I don't see it as a risk. I think the club has great history, and now let's make the future. KG, do you think it is a risk on his part, become the United manager?
It's always a risk, but I think with someone like, he comes across quite methodical in his thinking, right? He's like, if you work a certain way, you're gonna get certain rewards. You know, he seems like if you're putting in, he said, no time for dreams and all this other stuff. Just focus on this. Focus on football, you know, which is music to my ears in terms of dealing with our players and how social media and becoming brands. We got players that are more brands than football players, right? Want to strip that away and say, listen, I get that you do that in your time, but here I'm trying to win a title. I've got big dreams. I want to. He talked about knocking. They said about Klopp and Pep moving before it becomes his time. He goes, no, I believe like we should all be trying to take that. And there's like, well, can you do it? I believe.
But can you?
And again, and he just went, yeah.
I loved it. That was the part, that I smiled. I was like, good. That's like, I need someone that serious, that zoned in, that focused on the job. And he knows that coming here can be a risk, but if you believe in yourself, if you back yourself, it shouldn't be a risk, because anyone that doesn't fit into your plans, you get rid of. He must have assurances before taking this job that you're in charge now, bro. He must have them assurances. So yeah, hopefully it turns out well for him.
David Lee with the super sticker. Appreciate the contribution. Flex, do you think it's a risk on his part? Do you think, or as KG saying, it's almost everything's a risk, but it's a calculated one? It's a risk that he's willing to take?
Of course it is. It's a huge risk. Huge risk. We've got one of the very few, or one of the standout candidates of managers who are in the ascendancy. Managers who are making waves for themselves. Managers he's a manager who's in that next crop, isn't he? Like, obviously, you've got your Pep, your Klopp, Tuchel, what's his face? Conte. Nagelsmann. Do you know what I mean? Nagelsmann's arguably in the same crop that Ten Hag's in. Do you know what I mean? But like, you've got them like top managers. Do you know what I mean?
Good
that
reputation.
And
reputation.
Ancelotti.
Don't leave out Carlo, fam. Put him.
That's what I'm saying. Ancelotti, 100%.
Elite, bro.
Don Carlo's in there, and hopefully he can go one. He can prove it again. Next week. But you know what I mean? Erik Ten Hag is in the next batch of that. So for him, this next move going from Ajax has to go right for him. Obviously, he's got a long career. If it goes wrong, football, you know, he can get sacked and go somewhere else. It happens. But all spotlights on him. It's a big risk for him, because Man United is an absolute shambles. But it's also quite positive to hear that that's the very reason why he wants to take it. He wants to test himself. He backs himself to get the club back to where it was, because we've always said this, whether you're a player or you're a manager coming into this broken Man United setup, you have a potential to make history. You have a potential to really, if it goes right, you could be remembered for a long time.
Yeah, it's like
if it goes right.
If you win a title at United now, build a statue. Whoever wins that first title
Stand.
Yeah.
They got a lifetime contract. They really do.
Yeah, it's not
Stand.
really, can't really put the statue, but yeah, I know what you're saying.
And rename the stand, bro. I told you, bro. Do you see what we're getting? Do you see what we've gone through?
rename the stand.
Rename the stand. You got to
the
rename
East Stand. You can get the East Stand, yeah.
You got to rename it because you have to understand where the situation that we find ourselves in. Yeah. Yesterday, we were hoping for City to beat Liverpool. That's mental. You have to understand it, and not just us, so many around football, and shamelessly so. Yeah, but that can't happen. That should never happen again. We don't share the title with City. No one gets to hold that title as well. It's theirs, and their numbers are creeping up. We can't be in that situation anymore. That's how it's got that bad at this club that we don't have a say, bro. I don't even know where they put us on Match of the Day. I don't know. But I could imagine it was in the highlight bit. You know, when the rolling credits, it could have been
credits at the end.
It's like at the end, you know what I mean? Because we're rubbish. You know, there's no like we didn't define anything that was gonna happen yesterday. Crystal Palace was gonna finish where Crystal Palace finished. It didn't matter about us, and we still lost and jammied our way into a situation. This is what Man United has become. So now we got to say, oh my goodness, like anyone that does something and achieves something, you get, listen, take the keys, bro. Where do you want it? What do you want to put your statue, bro? Anyway, let's go.
Show Ramen says Erik ten Hag should hire Ajax and adopt a Di Canio approach. They should put Ajax in defense. He's ginormous. Isn't he? Oh my goodness. 100%. Amir says, if City and Liverpool is going to be the new rivalry, we have to establish a shameless FC with kit, badge, and everything for the next few seasons. KG, you can get on that one. You can be the manager. Gabriel Noel says, genuinely the most excited I've been for a Man United season since Sir Alex Ferguson retired, but I'm losing my stones thinking about the second season under Erik ten Hag. I will be honest, it's always exciting when anything's ever new, new. But I've like you guys, we've been burnt. I will refuse to let myself go 100%. There. I do want to talk about Ralf Rangnick though, because we have spoken about him ad nauseum for months and months and months about what his role is going to be. And Ten Hag's reaction was certainly curious when he was asked about it. So first of all, he was asked if he endorses Ralf Rangnick's consultancy role at United, and very shortly he just said, "That's on the club." And they were like, okay. And then he said, well, they said, well, you know, are you going to speak to him? And he said, well, it's part of my analysis. I analyze by myself. I observe. I speak to a lot of people. But finally, I'll draw my own line. So, Flex, what do you make of that? When he said that's on the club, that implies that basically he was sort of told, you know, Ralph's going to be a consultant. And he was like, okay. He's not going to, you know, I'll make my own decision, though. It don't matter. He can offer me his opinion. I'll make my own decision. I like the line of him saying, look, I make up my own opinion and, you know, I will speak to people. But it's that first bit, isn't it, when he goes, that's on the club. What did you make of that?
I don't like jumping to conclusions, I don't like
that's what we got KG for.
I don't like rushing to conclusions, But remember when I was saying, like, I don't know, man, that Ralph thing, after like 3 months, 6 months and that, he's just gonna fade. He's just gonna fade. It's happening. Might happen sooner. He didn't give a shit. I'm gonna say he didn't give a shit. I'm gonna say that. Do you know what? It's on the club means this. Talk to them. He's basically saying they appointed him, not me. Because when they asked about McLaren and Van der Gaag, he's saying, that's my decision. So this is why I like them here. They know how to win titles. They've proved X, Y, Z. On Ralph, that was his perfect. Even though he wasn't giving away so much, he still could have said, well, Ralph is a person who has good experience of rebuilding, and that's going to be important. So I would definitely speak. He could have given some little thing. He just went, that's on the club. And then proceeded to say, I analyzed by myself. I talked to loads of people, but the decision's mine. So look, I'm not going to say that Ten Hag won't call him. Ten Hag, I do believe Ten Hag when he says he speaks to loads. Like he said, he spoke to Van Gaal. We know how Van Gaal speaks about the club, and he still chose to come here. Do you know what I mean? So if it was that he gets led all the time and easily influenced, he wouldn't even be here because he would just have one phone call with Van Gaal. Van Gaal would rinse us and he'd be like, yeah, right. Yeah, shit there and I won't go. So he will speak to Ralf. He will consult with him and they will have, you know what I mean, really interesting conversations that I do think he'll take a lot about. But I don't think the long-term thing of it is there. There's 2 years of this consultancy. I just got a feeling by the time it gets to 6 to 9 months, Ralf just gets further and further away from what's going on. And until it becomes, he just has to make a PowerPoint and send it in. They won't even call him.
Also, as well, whenever you say that's on, like we said, that's on the club, whenever you use that kind of phrasing, and I know obviously, look, he speaks good English, and the idea that he couldn't speak good English is ridiculous. Obviously, he's just done a press conference. But when you say that's on the club, that whenever anyone makes a mistake and you go, that's on you, that's kind of the way that you use it. And that's the way that kind of felt like they went, Ralph's a consultant, isn't he? He went, that's on the club. What me? You know? That's what it felt like, didn't it, KG?
It was a mad one. When I saw that bit there, I was like, oh, like I was, and then it makes me, and then I have to harken back, to the Ralf. Every time they've asked Ralf about Ten Hag, he's been a bit like funny about it. Because if he wants to speak to me, I speak to him. But like he didn't know, he doesn't know if I just call him innit. Like and say, yo, basically it's mad, you know that he knows he can't just, even though he knows his number, like he knows someone that knows Ten Hag's number, right? And I know Ralf probably wants to just tell the truth, so he's like, let me call him. But then he's looking at the situation, and this man, again, very hard to read. So you're not just gonna message him and say, hey, this is all the tea that you need to know. You're not gonna do that. Now, seeing that reaction from Ten Hag, and he has to do that because Ten Hag, one thing he does know is Ralf knows all the secrets. Ralf literally knows everything. You'll be a fool to not speak to him, but the players must be worried about that element as well, right? The players might be thinking to themselves, damn, like, what if he tells them how he was acting in that training before Brighton? What if Ralf, and you know Ralf is going to tell it.
He will, yeah, he will.
You know, like, you don't even have to ask him, like, how he's going to, he's telling it, you know? But what he done in 2 ways, it showed control. It showed that, listen, end of the day, the buck stops with me. I make all the decisions. That was good. So, you know, when we talk about puppets and him playing players because the board are going to do it, listen to that guy. Did you get the impression that he's listening to anyone but himself? I got, he plans to listen to himself.
Yeah, he's very strong. Like, he will ask, but he's based, Ten Hag is basically like what Man United were to Ralf, which is, all right, we'll give you a job on that, but we ain't listening. We're still doing our own thing. Do you know what I mean? Like, he is so headstrong, and that's what I like. He didn't even need to speak that much for that to come across, that I'm doing this shit on my terms. Like, the players need to understand this. I need to get my staff in. The fans need to understand this, but still being polite to us and endearing. But he still got that across to me that I need to buy into him and what he wants to do. Yeah. And Ralf needs to understand that. But Ralf will get his chance. Look, Ralf will have the open mic settings to say what he wants to say.
Ralph's going to be here. And all Ralf needs to do is bring him players and negotiate for cheap and fast. If we start to see, remember, when the transfer window opens, if we start to see deals done in, let's say, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and not the end of the window, we can say the Ralf effect is there. That's one thing we can say, because Ralf has actually been working in the behind the scenes part of this club, and I know he's going to be a part of the negotiations. That's his job. If he can identify players that Ten Hag likes, and he's not got the main voice has to be one. It has to be Ten Hag's, yeah? But then after that, if Ralph's working in the background, go true, do your thing. And I think that's how the relationship should work. I like text every now and then, but that's about it.
I liked him saying that he was in his sort of analysis phase, because there is nothing more intimidating than a guy sort of watching a group of players, or if you see this new boss and he's not really saying anything, but he's just watching. And you know, the whole time he's forming opinions on what he's watching. Mm-hmm. That's why yesterday's performance was so wild, because it was so bad and they knew their new boss was watching. They knew he was there. And he is a guy that says that I'm just doing my analysis at the moment. And it was analysis in person. And they still played badly yesterday. That to me is wild.
No bounce. No bounce.
No bounce. No bounce. Talking of the big competitors, though, Man City and Liverpool, we spoke about them yesterday, saying we can't get another position where we're basically celebrating a Man City title victory. He was asked a question about there is this feeling, and we've spoken about it before, that maybe other teams won't win a title, rather, a Premier League, until Jurgen Klopp or Pep Guardiola, they decide to move on. Once their era comes to an end, maybe other clubs will start to win titles again. Ten Hag said, quote, I admire them both, Manchester City and Liverpool. They both play fantastic football, but you always see an era come to an end. And that was followed up by, so do you think that you can win a title or someone else can win a title while they're still there? And he just said, yes. Yes. Which, to be honest, on the face of it, is a silly question to ask. Because imagine in your first press conference, they go, can anyone win a title while they're in charge? He goes, no. Well, why am I here then?
Yeah.
Why would it be here? But I thought it is a bold statement to make, Flex, and it could be one that comes back to bite him, obviously, but a lot could. But in your heart of hearts, do you think it's possible that another team can win a title with whilst Pep and Klopp are doing their thing at their clubs?
I personally don't. I'll stand by that. I've thought that for a long time. Obviously, technically, I'm doing the opposite to what he's doing. So it's basically, you could say, well, what's the point in supporting us, Flex? Or we ain't going to win the league then. Yeah, you always have to believe. I get that. And obviously, when we go on good runs and something might be blossoming, you get behind it. You live in the moment of that. There was a question that was asked to him about the future in the first presser, and he said, I don't have dreams. He said, I don't have dreams. And he said, I live for here. Yeah, I'm not a dreamer. And sometimes it depends how you look at life, innit? You could see that, oh, bloody hell, mate. Everyone should dream. Got to think you can do it somehow. Do you know what I mean? But do you know what I mean? It depends how you look at life. Up.
He goes to sleep, just wake up. He doesn't have dreams. He goes, what did you dream about last night? What?
Exactly. What is it? But then you have to think to yourself, actually, he's saying the reason I'm not that is because I'm so focused on the here and the now. And then that will make the future. Do you know what I mean? It just depends on whether you're glass half full or empty. But on what he said, I don't mind him saying that because, again, it shows belief in himself. We all know, again, he's not going to sit there and say, no chance, mate. We ain't got any chance of catching them. That he needs to fully believe he can. I'm not Manchester United manager. Do you know what I mean? For a lot of reasons. Like, he needs to believe that he can build a squad that can win the league. Of course he needs to believe that because he wants to put Man United back to where it's been. We all want Man United to get back there. But we've seen the levels and what you have to do to even come anywhere close to City and Liverpool. Chelsea are like, what, 20 points off or something like that? 18 points, I don't even know. A lot of points off. And they were tipped to do it. Do you know what I mean? To infiltrate that party. 90 points plus, you're talking goal difference settings or 1 point. Do you know what I mean? That's it. That's their level. So anything's possible in football, and football comes in cycles, isn't it? But I just think with my thinking and where it's not been anywhere near the title. We need to not. I know that might sound harsh and we always need to believe, but right now, it's not about that. Like I said, I stand by my comments on wanting to look like a team like Brighton, wanting to look like a team like West Ham. Just an identifiable team and playing style first. That's it.
Yeah.
Forget City, forget Liverpool.
And in fairness to Ten Hag, when he was asked about that and he said, are you thinking about winning the Premier League? He went, no, like not at the moment. No, because he just watched the team lose yesterday. And,
exactly.
Why would he be thinking about that? KJ, I want to ask you about Cristiano Ronaldo because Ten Hag was asked about Ronaldo. And I want to ask you particularly because, it was just a couple of weeks ago. You were very convinced someone was leaving. There was an international financial crisis because you were encouraging people to gamble. And Erik Ten Hag was asked if Cristiano Ronaldo fits into his plans. He said, of course. And that was followed up by, well, what does Ronaldo bring? And he went, Ronaldo? Goals.
That guy must have felt like a mug because he was mugged off in that moment. Like, there's no way to... And listen, can we just say, these journalists trying to sound cool. There was one in there saying, "Do you think it's going to be evolution or revolution?" Shut up.
And he was leaning back with the glasses. I was like,
"Get the hell! Where were you?" That's what I want to say.
We need some representation.
Allow it,
honestly.
man. Allow it, bro. I just thought I was watching that. Like these look like just
Just quickly on that, Joey. Just real quick before we carry on. You know when they're like James Ducker, Telegraph, Samuel Luckhurst. I was thinking, how mad would it be if you're just in there, you're just like flexing KG, United View, like, like no real names, like.
Oh wait,
you know what I mean?
Are we saying it like how they say it, like saying it mad official?
KG's over with his clipboard as well.
United View, yeah, flexing KG, United View.
Leading over like that massively as well.
No, that guy was sitting down like that with a glass.
He thought it was wicked. He thought it was wicked.
Bro, he thought there's no Gallagher in there, bro. He was annoying, bro. No.
Yeah, the blue tints and the glasses. Yeah.
Glasses, bro.
It could have had a big Parker on, as well.
Disgrace.
Well, anyway. All right, let me the Ronaldo statement. Again, I apologize to anyone that lost money when I told people to go out and spend their money.
Show ramen. I placed £100 bet on Ronaldo to leave. KG, you owe me.
I don't owe you. I was, what do you call it? If you listen to it, I did come across like Fabrizio. Again, I told you, Ronaldo loves the club, but he also loves other things as well. So, no, but anyway, the Ronaldo comment was good. I thought it was it's interesting to see how we're going to use Ronaldo next season. I am worried about where Ronaldo was though yesterday. I know everyone's like,
just chilling. Don't need to play.
Yeah. Where was he though? Was
Portugal,
he in a
maybe? I don't know.
Hip flexor.
Why does it matter?
Hip flexor issue. I mean, it could be a situation. Look, if he has, and from what reports were saying, that this hip flexor thing has been an issue legitimately for pretty much the entire second half of the season. If he had a hip flexor issue the entire time and he was still scoring goals, like back-to-back, like hat tricks in home games in the Premier League, 37 years of age, that's crazy.
Aren't we worried that next season?
No, but they got Nations League as well, KG. I think Portugal are playing as well, innit? They got games, like international games coming up as well. So, do you know what I mean? He's probably just looking after himself. Palace, end of the season, conference, Europa, whatever. They're both shit to me because I'm Ronaldo. Like,
I don't know.
I can feel my leg a bit. Nah.
It's worrying.
Benefited him not to play. Benefited him not to play. He wasn't involved. Exactly. He wasn't involved in that yesterday. So Ten Hag's probably looking at some of those players going, they're rubbish. I definitely don't rate them. Yeah. Ronaldo wasn't even involved. He still likes Ronaldo after yesterday.
Yeah.
I will say I can't pretend that I'm not worried about it. I'm not worried about the EasyJet like flights back when the season's on. You know what I mean? It is worrying. That's all. Like, I know you lot might see it differently because he's the GOAT and this, that, and the other. And I still see.
So you think that means he might leave then?
No, not last game of the season. That. No, not like he's leaving. I'm saying that just when he does just go, he's gone in it, and we don't know what country is he in. Like, I know I wouldn't, and I know you have to be special to get them allowances, but we wouldn't accept it from Marshall. We didn't accept it from a lot of players. If McTominay told me that he's taking the EasyJet back to Scotland and that, I'd be like, like.
Yeah, but here's the thing with that. That's what I'm saying about the standards. He's done his job this year and throughout his career and is elite. And when we was talking about certain players do get treated differently, obviously the Man United he was leaving, we saw what it was yesterday.
Yeah,
it's not Manchester United. It's a team called Manchester. It wasn't United. I don't know what it is. It's nothing. So he's left there 18 goals strong. Do you know what I mean? Got games coming up. Ain't ever going to see Ralf again. Like, I just don't see it as that big a thing. Like, that we don't know where he is. And I mean, he is 30. He's going on 38. He's still human. He's going to have little things.
I just want people to be on everyone, as Ten Hag said, it needs to be unified, innit? And everyone, where I'm running and going hard, we're all going hard. There's no separation. We're all a team. You know what I mean? Like, not we're a team, but you get treated totally differently from everyone else. No, we're a team and we're all headed in this direction. You can't go in another direction because it just allows people to think let's say if I score, everyone's playing rubbish, but I score 15 goals. I'm separate from you guys. And a lot of that's happened in this team where it's been literally like selfish FC at times where they're not trying to set each other up. They're not playing for each other. The one thing the reason why we finished so bad this season is we weren't a team anymore. I don't know when that team totally collapsed, but you could, in those moments, there were so many moments where we weren't creating for each other. There was a level of selfishness in a lot of our moments in finishing. We can look back at so many games this season, and the whole team ethic is gone. You saw that meeting that they had around at halftime after Ralf done the halftime team talk, right? They all come on the pitch, and you could see Cavani's arguing with Bruno in a sense, and they're all in a circle, just arguing. They're not a team. Are you with me? And that can't go on no more. So whatever Ronaldo's doing, I don't want those he's flying out to somewhere else because we're playing. He's injured, but he's flying out and he's not going to be in the thing for Manchester. No, bro. You have to be here regardless. Wherever we are, you are as well.
So but when you're injured, so let's just say he was just injured. When you're injured, you don't have to travel with the squad.
Yeah, I understand that. But
so if he stays in his house,
but not fly home though, not fly to Portugal.
So you're saying, which is probably in these private jets, that's probably quicker from driving from the bloody gate to his house.
But then obviously Marcel say in the air. You know, in the air, you good.
So Kechi, so your point is then, so he doesn't have to travel with the squad. He should stay at home. But once the full-time whistle has blown, then he can fly. So if he's got his flight booked, for 7, he can go, well, game's finished. Now I can go.
You not understand exactly what I'm saying. You lot are trying to be pricks. You know what I'm saying. He can't be.
I'm just using your words. I'm just using what you said.
Nah. You lot know what you're doing, bro. I'm saying wherever you know how it works.
Was that not what he said? Was that not what he was implying?
You lot know exactly what I'm saying, and I'm not.
Why are you saying you lot? I haven't even said anything. Why are you dragging me into it?
You lot both.
This is between you and Owen. Owen.
Not happening today. It's a new era. I'm not getting back on this trip.
Okay.
Like Ronaldo's not allowed back on this trip.
Listen, come on, guys.
Once full time, the whistle blows, and he goes, right, get in the air.
Get in the car. I'll go to the airport.
You lot think that
he's sitting in the plane. He's actually sitting in the plane on the runway, and he goes, well, game over.
All right. You lot think players should be traveling internationally when they like if they're injured and stuff like that? Do you reckon they should just be out when your team's still working and stuff? Do you think that's what should be happening?
I would say if this was during the season and like how it happened before, if we were in this sort of top 4 race, if it was a Manchester derby, I would say at the time I wasn't a fan of him flying to Portugal. I think he should have travelled with the team at that point. When it's the final day of the season, when there are so many people out the door anyway, when it's the interim manager's last game, who cares?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Well, we can agree to disagree. I think that energy can't be in with what we're trying to fix next season. We can't have any of that.
No, next year. No, I do. Yeah, that's different.
Agree. That's different. Agree. If he did that halfway through next season or something like that, then you would go, okay, come on, that's.
I do agree with moving forward under Erik ten Hag, and I do think that will be something that's actually laid out by him. In all honesty, I do agree with you in all seriousness.
All right,
but like I said, but towards the back end of this season, with this particular game, nah.
I'm just asking questions, okay? It's what a host does.
Yeah.
Not in the new era. I'm not doing it. You almost had me going there, bro.
You all laughed at me.
You almost had me, bro.
Let's talk about Harry Maguire. Let's move on to a subject that no one's going to disagree on. Harry Maguire. He was asked about Harry Maguire, Erik ten Hag. Now, everyone knew this question was coming. Everyone knew. I was actually surprised how long it took to get to this question. I thought it was going to be
they were scared.
An early one.
They were scared.
Yeah, really. Who wants to dip their toe in the water first and see how far you can go? Yeah.
So he was asked, will Harry Maguire remain as Manchester United captain? And Erik ten Hag, I think, kind of sidestepped it, which I think is probably the right thing to do. But he was very complimentary about Maguire. He said, quotes, next season is a different season. He did a great job. He is a great player, achieved a lot with a contribution to Manchester United. I'm looking forward to working with him. Now, he has not said there whether or not he is going to be the Manchester United captain next season. However, he was very complimentary about Maguire, which gets that kind of reaction from KG and I think a lot of people. So I will start off with the guy of the zoomed face. KG, what do you make of that comment? And do you think Maguire will be the captain on the first game of next season?
It's great to hear it. It's great to hear. You need to know if your manager can lie. That was one of those. It was a lie. Come on, guys. He's a great player. I looked at how many goals we conceded this season? We conceded goals for fun. How many goals did Harry Maguire get? 2. 2 goals. 1 with the head. The guy is not what he needs to be. He knows that he can't play a high line. As again, according to the eyes, no, remember that? No, Maguire, no, Maguire. Yeah, he saw that video. He knows what that is. And remember, these guys, he said he's analyzing. If you analyze Maguire's performance yesterday, yeah, and I know all he can think is that guy. No, Maguire.
That might have to make the soundboard, you know.
No, that guy, yeah. He's not even a Man United fan. How did he feel?
Yeah, he knew straight away. No.
That's not on the level of this.
You are an absolute disgrace. You're a cheat.
He feels it. I know exactly how Ty feels when he said that. Yeah? The guy knows when you analyze Maguire, he's rubbish.
No, Maguire.
No.
It's because I remember asking him the question. And I just remember thinking, bro, they don't even support United, and they just really do it. They're like, no way. No. I remember thinking, fucking hell, that's harsh. He going in on him. I remember looking at him thinking,
bro, they just won the league, but we snapped him out of his happiness. We took him out of his joy.
He was delirious. He was celebrating. Yeah, 36th title, Maguire.
No.
The bottom lip starts shivering. The bottom lip starts shivering like that.
Bro, imagine I'm literally scrolling back. I just need to hear it again. Oh no, it was in the whole vlog, innit? Oh, I'll do it another time. Yeah. Oh,
he was furious, bro.
Yeah. But on it though, again, remember when I said, it's funny that it said it, because I said, everyone saying back the manager, and whatever Ten Hag says, we believe, we are behind. I said, so what? Everyone better keep the same energy for when he walks straight in the door and says, Maguire's a good player. It's almost quote of what he said today. Maguire's a good player. Yeah. Looking forward to having him. All of this. Everyone just needs to fall back. And he hasn't confirmed or unconfirmed the captain. So that's true. That's true. He's left it. He's been very smart, because if it was like with the Ronaldo situation, it's simple. Yeah, bring goals. Of course, I'm looking forward to working with. Do you know what I mean? And he's given Harry Maguire a bit of extra boost that he didn't really have to. He could have been more blunt than that. He could have been like, well, absolutely. It doesn't matter whether it's the captain. I still have to analyze everybody, and I'm waiting to do that. He could have just said that, but he gave he's a great player. He's done well. He's this. He's that. You know what I mean? So
I remember he's had the short answers. Remember, what he likes is have the short answers. If he really was feeling Maguire, he would have said, "A captain." Simple as that. What do you think about Harry Maguire? My captain. Simple.
Yeah, but if he wasn't feeling him,
he could have been blunt the other way, couldn't he? He could have just gone, is Harry Maguire going to be a captain? We'll have discussions. No? He gave him a compliment. And again, I know, you know what the reaction is going to be. You know the reaction to that is people are going to be going, "What good player?" I did like that one. He's achieved a lot. I was thinking,
a lot of relegations.
That CV's pretty bare.
A lot of relegations, bro. He's achieved a lot of relegations, fam.
Yeah, but look, he's not. If anything, and I'm not. This isn't me trying to spin it. If anything, we've gone from an era of Ralf being totally transparent with the media. I do agree that in certain aspects you can't be that transparent. You can't.
He can't walk straight in.
You can't.
Before he's even sat down with Maguire and the team and decided.
Yeah, imagine he's never spoken to him. Imagine the first thing Harry Maguire hears about himself from his new bosses, he's shit. You would be like,
every player would have been watching that.
Well, I guess we put the house up for sale then, because we're out. I guess.
Exactly.
I think Maguire. again, these guys, he's given enough for Maguire to take preseason serious. If I'm these players, I'd cancel the holiday that I booked. I wouldn't go on a mad holiday. Literally, I would be like, my career is now. This is a career defining moment for me. I could either go on the boozer with the man them and enjoy, but this whole season's been a piss up. If we're being honest, I would get into like, if you maybe, I don't know, maybe do a week away with whoever like you want to go, your significant, whoever your person is, and then you get to work, because on the 27th, he's gonna have high expectations. That's all I got from that was, this man is not here to mess around. He should be celebrating a championship. Hey, we didn't go to the party, bro. Them lot, there was gonna be a party celebrating him. Yeah, he was there for 4 years.
There's a seat with a piece of paper saying Erik on there. They go, why did he show up?
Mad.
Oh, Man United, didn't he?
He did not show up. He's here to watch you lot. This man is all I need to know about that is, and that's someone you follow, right? Because that means he's holding himself accountable. He says, I have high standards. I hope these players can live up to the standards that he had. That's what the main thing we can say is, we brought in a winner. So when you ask Flex, the question is, can he win in this time that he's here? I like to say yes, he can. I like to believe in a manager that he knows winning.
Yeah,
yes,
you got to believe. 100%.
And this club is it's a sleeping giant. Even regardless of, I always looked at Liverpool and I said, let them win one title and they go. You know, it's just those a sleeping giant. You don't really want to rock it too much. And I still feel that way about Man United. We are a sleeping giant. Get us a title. Let's go.
Interesting super chat here.
Yeah, it says Rangnick seemed bitter in the end and alienated most of the squad. Looks like Ten Hag is distancing himself from him to get the players on side from day one. What do you make of that, Flex? Do you think that's accurate, or do you think that's just Ten Hag being his own man?
I think it's a little. I think it's probably the latter, but I like the concept of that, to be honest, with what Ash is saying, because I know the bitter thing might be a bit of a strong word, and I know a lot of people have been quite fans have been especially complimentary of Ralf for basically being the best thing that's happened to the club in terms of airing it out. Some of the ex-pros are saying, you know what, don't like it, airing it out in public, shouldn't do that. Players, we've obviously heard in media leaks of what they've had to say about Ralf outing them, that nobody likes it. But he has basically said, I'm here for a good time, not a long time. I don't care, I'm saying it. And like we said, as it got towards the end of the season where our objective clearly wasn't going to be met, he was more loose with his lips. But I do feel I like the thinking of Ash there in that super chat, because if you are Erik Ten Hag coming into this when you know how shit it already is, you have to weigh up, okay, what's the benefit of me coming in and piling even more onto it in a direct thing when I do actually need these guys? We're all done with the players, and rightly so, because we've seen it. But Erik Ten Hag can't get rid of 11 of that starting lineup and bring 11 in. He needs, I know, like, I don't agree with this, but I'm just saying he needs Fred, he needs McTominay, he needs Bruno, he needs Rashford. Do you know what I mean? He needs Luke Shaw, he needs David De Gea, he needs, it looks like, Harry Maguire. These are all players that we want to, or a lot of those players I just mentioned would fall into the category of moving on. But in this transfer window, in this moment, he knows he has to get a tune out of 75-80% of that squad. Is that fair to say? Isn't it?
Yeah,
he has to. He has to work with them.
What does he achieve? What does he achieve by going in and just completely ripping them all apart?
What does he achieve by that? Because it's going to be very hard for him to say, well, pre-season's cut short on June the 27th. And this is where we just have to be logical as fans and not emotional, because we have a right to be emotional the whole time. But now we've got to get into logic because the new guy's here. What's he going to do? Say, right, it's June the 27th. Now I need you to bust the gut and run harder than you've ever run for me and get even fitter and do this and do that when I've already thrown you under the bus before I even met you. It just doesn't work like that. Do you know what I mean? So they have to be faded out gradually. But like KG says, he has to tell some lies. He has to get people.
It's going to be,
you know what I mean? He has to say some stuff.
There's going to be a lot, like, prepare yourself for, or you just won't say it. You just won't answer the question. You know, there's going to be a lot of short answers. And there will be lies, you know. And again, they said that he's this. You've seen what his management style is like, right? Where it's like You know, he expects everyone to go in the same direction. And when we saw the video of him telling the player, it's for the team. You have to do it for the team. This is a team game, you know. So you're gonna get a lot more. I hear he's like more harsh to the players in front of them, but into the media, it's one way. Like
that's a good point. That's what the We Talk Ajax guys were saying. They were saying, when they don't be surprised if when you see him in the media, he backs these players or protects these players, and you go, why is he protecting that player? What's he doing? But they said, but rest assured, behind closed doors, he's absolutely ripping into them. Yeah, he's ripping into them.
He's moving mad, and we need that. You know, there's a lot of players that you mentioned there, Flex, and I was like, they can't all be Tadic's. They can't all be Hallas. You know, the ones that he just resurrected. And let's be honest with Tadic, he wasn't really a resurrection job. He was at Southampton. Like, how much can you do there?
He just took him up to a level. Yeah,
we can't resurrect everyone. You know, there's some players that are beyond resurrection, fam. Some players are just dead. Do you know what I mean? And we know who those players are. Those players have got a short time in the summer. Like I dread to think of what Pereira's thinking now. Like if he
no, he's done.
He's not thinking that. He's thinking, listen.
No, he's thinking to try and come in and get a move. He is. He's
thinking this could be my next. This could
No, he's not. It's
pre-season?
No. He'll run around in that and try, but he knows he's out. I'm not going with that one. I'm not having that. Pereira knows he's out.
This pre-season? Zidane says, don't. Sake, man.
Imagine Ten Hag says like, oh, he does keep the ball a bit better than Bruno. He's been listening to me a bit more. I'm going to try him out first game of the season. He plays a worldie. Could be a Joe Linton fam. No one thought Joe Linton could do what he's doing.
No, but we how many false dawns we have with Pereira?
Oh, man.
Bro, Pereira, pre-season Pereira, bloody hell.
Yeah, he's incredible in pre-season.
First game on the tour, hat-trick, centre midfield, runs the show. In the game against Liverpool as well, destroys their midfield, but going, it's the answer. He's the answer. We've got all of these midfield negotiations going on. We go, cancel them all. Get rid of it. He's come back.
We had one in our ranks the whole time.
Yeah, it was under our nose the whole time. Pre-season Pereira. Biggie Third says, I'm with KG. No special treatment for any player. People make excuses for Ronaldo because of his achievements. He should have been at the game yesterday. I mean, I like we were saying before, I'm not sure it's a massive, massive deal, considering it was the last game of the season, considering who cares about that season, all that kind of stuff. I do think, I agree, if it happens, say, when it did happen earlier on in the season with the City game, that's a big deal. If it happens next season, that's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I don't know. Finally, before we do wrap it up, he was asked about the game yesterday at Palace. It's a good segue. He said, quote, I observed it, I analysed it, but for me, I wasn't in charge, and I take this information into the new season.
On the club.
I mean, everyone kept saying penny for his thoughts yesterday, didn't they? Everyone kept saying, oh, what must he be thinking? There was one journalist that said he was shaking his head a lot in the first half, particularly at Alex Telles. Don't know how accurate that is, but what do you think he made it yesterday, Flex?
Wait a minute. How does that journalist know that he was?
Well, I would assume he was probably in the press box and he's just watching. Or they've probably got a camera. They've probably got Ten Hag camera on.
Yeah,
the whole
Ten
time.
Hag camera. Yeah, and then you just see like, oh, it was when Telles had it, or it was when Telles did that mad cross that didn't go anywhere. They saw Ten Hag do this. Could be.
Yeah. Could be.
Oh, he wants, and oh my goodness, on the touchline, even when his team's winning, he's still upset with what he's seeing.
Yeah. That's it.
He's on the touchline on like, what are you lot doing? Like, and they're winning the league. Like, they're seconds away, minutes away from winning the league. He is not happy, bro. Like, they're already handing out the paper cups, and these guys, like, he wants more. So, bloody hell.
He said, "Good is not good enough." But you said what did I think his thoughts were, Owen? Like, he would think it was disgraceful, shocking. All of the things like what KG was saying, like, wow, this is bad. But again, with the temperament of the man.
Well, he was speechless after the game when what's his name, Gary Cottrell tried to interview him. Don't push me. You're live on television. You're on television. Don't push me.
Gary, you got to big up Gary Cottrell. Gary, he's taking him for some Jose. Bro, you don't have the same relationship. You know those people who think like, because I'm friends with you, I could go to somebody else and have that same level of banter. Bro, it ain't that. I don't know you like that. You can't really follow me around like that. Oh, don't push me. You're live on Sky trying to make him look like the villain. Gary, what are you doing?
Not a good look, is it, Erik? Being manhandled on television, is it? Is it? Is it?
Like, you know that little.
You know for a fact that car sped off, and he went full Conor McGregor. Who the f was that? Who was that guy?
100%.
Who the f was that guy?
Gary's just like, he's like, Jose's gone, so I need to be like another manager's teacher's pet, like where they like me. It ain't gonna be Ten Hag, I tell you that, Gary. So you may as well just stop.
I like how shameless Gary is. So I'm
100%. You gotta rate him. He's always there trying to do madness, and he asks his mad questions sometimes in the presses as well. He just does mad stuff.
I like that guy.
Yeah.
Bennett C says, Flex and KG, can I hear the Europa League remix?
No, you can't. No, it's you got to wait for the official mixed down version. It's going to be on streaming platforms across the world: Spotify, Apple Music, etc., Amazon. You know what I mean? Google, whatever.
We're just waiting for our producer to come.
And we're waiting for clearance for the sample from UEFA.
Yeah.
Imagine you got that. Imagine we got that. Or the Europa League final next season, they go, and to do the closing ceremony during the song, a remix version, you two in the middle of the pitch. With all of that weird sort of fanfare and dancing, everyone goes, what are they doing? I don't know what story they're trying to tell there.
Table as well. Can you imagine you still let me have the table that I can be on, bruv?
Yeah. Soundboard. You laughed at me.
I hate that this team, this season literally forced us into doing that.
I've seen you do a madness. This season I watched you do a spinneroonie.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Flex, you did a spinneroonie in the first stream.
Only did it because KG said.
5 times.
At that point, I was concerned for KG's health because I've never heard him breathe like that during the spinneroonie.
I know. Wan-Bissaka, bruv. How many times have you given away the ball in the last minute, bruv? 5 times, bruv. honestly.
We're a shambles.
You don't laugh, you cry. Yeah, you have to.
You know how bad we was last season. I know the season's over, so I can speak about it in past tense. We're so bad here that Liverpool had more faith in Aston Villa than us. And we didn't even put a glove to Man City. We didn't we didn't even get close. Not even a nothing.
Nothing, mate. Nothing. Honestly. Oh, why we got all you guys before you read Super Chat, Owen, and take us out. 1,800 people watching. Smash a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. And the tickets to our 100k subscriber party and our first birthday, our first anniversary are in the link in the video description below. Get the link, grab your tickets. We're all going to be there, all of the United View. We hope we can meet as many of you as we can. You guys have been supporting us. It's at London's famous O2 Arena at Tocker Social. So the link is in the video description below. Click it, get your tickets, and we'll see you on the 19th of June for our 100k subscriber party / first birthday. Can you even believe we're saying that? It's crazy. Still can't believe it.
It is crazy. KG's going to box Cam. I've booked the ring.
I'm not going to box Cam. What? I'm gonna disagree with everything Cam says, but I feel like he kind of won like some of it, like because the new manager at least wants to look at his son. He doesn't even want to look at my son. My son went straight onto the transfer window. He said, "Nah, don't need to look at him."
And Blue Dabadee says we are winning the Europa League next season. It just feels different. We're not going to start that all over again. Shafi Q says players will get irritated on the training field because Ten Hag stops the training for every mistake made and resume if all goes well. He will drill them to the limit.
Good.
I certainly hope so.
Good.
And United Abroad says that remix has to be the intro for Europa League game videos.
Ooh, people are asking. A lot of people are saying that one. Might have to get Josh working on something special.
Exactly. Josh, I can imagine that's what your life's come to. You're remixing your
I think it was a moment, and we just have to let the moment go, fam.
Yeah, 100%. Starlo says, "What if 100k turn up at the O2 Flex? Then there's 100k at the O2. Do you know what I mean? Turn the O2 into the UV. You know what I
UV.
mean? There you go.
We need a new headquarters because we have a one in the one that we're in.
I don't want to talk about that.
That is a concern. I mean, that is worried.
It's a really big concern.
I feel privileged. I've seen the only goal. I saw the only goal. Ronaldo against Arsenal.
No, I've seen goals. No, we've seen goals. Oh well, since the new headquarters.
Yeah,
but when we was no, I thought just when we recorded in general. But you mean
we haven't seen it?
No, since the new studios. So who was saying I was the bad Owen? Who was saying I was the bad luck? I've seen the
Owen. We still lost when you was on stream. Owen.
You all laughed at me.
Owen. You were still part of a loss, and that was against Arsenal as well. That's arguably the most embarrassing for KG anyway, because he hates Arsenal.
I walked off set.
And you walked off set. Exactly. So you did not have a good time because you saw a goal. Do not go there. Yeah. You also saw us get the chance to make it 2-2, and Bruno missed the penalty.
I am a good luck charm. Okay, I've seen goal. I had to cut off the S there. I've seen goal. I didn't even say S. I've seen goals. I've seen goal.
Oh man,
like Tarzan.
Yeah,
damn it, man.
But anyway, that's all in the past. In Ten Hag we trust.
We're traumatized. Though. We're traumatized, everybody. You know that. We're all carrying a lot of trauma from last season.
Anyway, look, we're out of here, guys. Hope you have a good one, and we'll speak to you again very soon. Peace.